Welcome. Welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Reverend Lori Irwin Johnson, and I use the pronouns she and her. And if this is your first time here with us, I'd like to welcome you. If you decided to tune in online or if you're here with us on Zoom, we're so happy to have you. If you've been here before, we're so glad to have you back. We'd like to see you each and every Sunday, and every Sunday you are a blessing to us. So thank you for being here, whether you're new or been here before. So I'd like to tell you that today we are going to be talking about the dynamic laws of prosperity. Now, this is an interesting time of the year for a lot of us who are actually doing taxes and looking at our finances from the year before and making plans and setting goals and maybe shifting a little bit in how we're doing things in our lives. And oftentimes we question whether or not we are actually doing the right thing, if we're prosperous, if we're moving in the right direction. And so we're going to be talking about prosperity today. We're going to be talking about prosperity from some of the Unity teachers, a couple Unity teachers like Charles Fillmore. We're going to talk a little bit about H. Emily Cady, Eric Butterworth, but especially today, we're going to talk a little bit about more of how Catherine Ponder looked at prosperity from a financial and a lifestyle way of looking at things. So I'm really excited to be able to get into that. But before we do that, I would like to invite Victoria. Victoria is our guru for all things announcements. So I'm going to call her up and she's going to tell us what's going on.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'll start out with our regular announcement about the fact that we are a live stream online church. We do not have a brick and mortar, but we do have lots more. We start at 9:15 in the morning with a social and prayer session from 9:15 till 9:45. Then we take a brief intermission until 10, where there are scenes and music. It's kind of like an intermission. And then from 10 to 11, we are live stream, and we are also being recorded on YouTube for later viewing. And then after the service at 11, we can stay on the Zoom channel and follow up with more discussion that is not on YouTube. And we do a lot of planning and brainstorming and just enjoying our family community here on Sunday mornings. So if you're interested in attending, those of you who are watching have already figured out that there's a link. Go to our website at unityoftacoma.org, and it will tell you how to get here on Sunday mornings. There also on the website is an event page that tells what's going on. And one of those things we're doing every week is on Wednesdays. We are doing a book club. The book that we're in the middle of right now is called Why Woo Woo Works by Hamilton. We're having a good time with it. And we welcome you to come. That's at Wednesdays at 6:30. Contact Reverend Lori through the website to find out the link for our Zoom discussion. The Zoom in our service and in the books club is so wonderful because it allows for participation by everybody. And it isn't just where you're like watching a TV. I mean, it's actually participatory. We have great discussion. Come whether you've read the book or not. We would love to have you. Easter is coming up, and we are going to be having our Easter service online as we have our services now. And that will be at 10 o'clock, or come early for prayer at 9:15. But we've also been extended an invitation by the other Unity Church in Tacoma called South Sound Unity. They are located at Anderson Street and South 8th. And their service starts at 10, and they have invited us to come to their brick and mortar church to fellowship with them on Easter if you're wanting to have live participation in a brick and mortar church. And we thank them for their invitation. But at the same time, at 10 o'clock on Easter morning, we will also be here online. Also, something new has been brought to my attention. I think it's pretty exciting. There is a community choir that has cropped up, and one of our Unity family in her former life and some now still is a music promoter. And she is very involved in the new People's Resistance Choir. It's a community choir that has started now, and it is on the first Monday of each month. It's planned to meet that way for 4 years, and it's located at the People's Community Center at South 16th and Martin Luther King. They meet the first Monday of the month from 6 to 8 p.m. So I know many of our members have always enjoyed choir, and we love people-to-people events. So this is a new event that we can put on our calendar if you're interested in sharing music. And I understand it's not just voices there. People bring your instruments, and they're just having a great time. So that's the first Monday of the month at 6 to 8 p.m. at the People's Community Center at South 16th and Martin Luther King Avenue in Tacoma. And I hope you all have a good week. I thank you for joining us, and look forward to seeing you. We'll give you more information about the choir and the Easter update coming up. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victoria. All right, so let's get started with our prayer for protection. So if you don't know the prayer for protection, the words will be on the screen. Otherwise, just say it with you from your heart. If you know it, if it's in your heart, close your eyes and say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so as we're sitting in this space of prayer, let's just take a breath. Just inhaling and exhaling, whatever is comfortable, as deep as you would like it to be. Just allow it to become natural. In and out, as we center ourselves in prayer, allowing the things from our outside lives to drop away as we go inward and we seek that divine presence. It's in these moments of seeking divine presence that we become aware of all the access we have to the so many blessings in this world. So many things that we have, things that we are grateful for, things that we are looking to acquire, goals that we are trying to meet, and things that we would like to see for ourselves and our families in the future. But right now, we're in the present moment. And how do we embrace all of the beauty that we would like to create in this world? We do so from where we are right now, in this moment, focusing our attention and our intention on what it is that we would like to have. And when we look at it from the perspective of what do I have already? What am I grateful for? We begin to see that we are already given, have already been given all of the things that we need. We need to remember to access them by going within and touching the source of all being and being aware that it's available. We forget in the busyness of our lives that there's so many things that we have to get done and so many things we have to do and so many bills to pay, and it goes on and on. If you just stop, go within, and you remember who you truly are. You're a child of the divine source, the child of God, and you are protected and you are cared for in all circumstances, no matter where you are or where you believe you are. The divine is there for you. God is with you and always will be. And so it's with gratitude we move into this service, knowing that we are going to be looking at our prosperity, looking at our abundance, looking at the way that we see the world, and reminded that we are always supported, always cared for, and we always have enough. Again, with gratitude, I say thank you for all there is. And so it is. Amen. All right. I forgot to do an affirmation slide. All of the slides that I do make, and I forgot that one. So we're going to be saying the affirmation together, and I will read it, say it slowly so you can say it after me. Our affirmation for today: I release, let go, and move forward with a clear mind and heart. Okay, let's say it together. I release, let go, and move forward with a clear mind and heart. One more time. I release, let go, and move forward with a clear mind and heart. And even though today's daily word isn't about prosperity, it is about release. And I thought it was really important as we're moving into looking at how we are seeing our prosperity and abundance, and how we might have to release some of the preconceived notions that we've been carrying around, things that have been holding us back. So today's daily word, and if you're interested in learning more about the daily word, you can go to dailyword.org and you can learn how to get your own copy. But today's daily word is release. Today, I will be gentle and honest with myself as I observe the beliefs I am holding in my mind and in my heart. I may be feeling surprised to discover all the outworn ideas I have been clinging to. I can see how these feelings and thoughts have been limiting me, how I take a big step forward by releasing unwanted thoughts and actions to spirit within. I am patient with myself. If these thoughts revisit me, I commit to release again and again. Releasing is a process that I undertake with faith and trust. As I release, I visualize myself moving into a brighter future, free of all that once limited my life. I believe in the goodness and grace of God. I affirm, I release, let go, and move forward with a clear mind and heart. I release, let go, and move forward with a clear mind and heart. And our daily word today is release. So Unity has a very interesting way of looking at prosperity that oftentimes people don't realize is available. We live in a world where we hear about on the media all of the things that are going on, how we have to worry, how we have to stockpile, how we have to be careful about our finances and how we're looking about our prosperity and what it is that we have in our lives. And we are on edge. The world is on edge. We hear it every day, all day. We're bombarded with all of the things that we should be afraid of, things that we should be worried about. And we need to look at how it is that we're taking care of our finances, how we're saving our money, how we're X, Y, and Z, all of the things in the world that mean and keep us safe, that means that we are prosperous, mean that we are abundant. And the thing with Unity and the idea of prosperity from a Unity perspective is that we know that we have all that we need. Prosperity and Unity is not just about money. It's about a holistic feeling of well-being. That includes physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial well-being. True prosperity is about realizing that we are always supported in this abundant universe. It is the knowing that we are aligned with the divine law that opens ourselves up to receiving in ways that are beyond our imagination. No matter what our imaginations can come up with, whether it be positive or negative, it is beyond. The universe works beyond to give us everything that we need. I'm getting my slides up, so hold on. I should have had this before. It was Charles Fillmore, who was the co-founder of Unity, for those of you who don't know, who taught that prosperity is a natural state of being. He said, "It is the law of spirit that we must give in order to receive." So this idea is central to our concept of prosperity and unity, not as a rule that is imposed upon us, but as a spiritual law that unlocks divine abundance for each and every one of us. Another unity teacher, Eric Butterworth, affirmed that prosperity is not something you have to get. It is something you already have. You simply have to tune into it. Now, that's an interesting thing, because we may feel like we are suffering from lack, or we don't have enough, or there isn't whatever it is that I need right now. And that is not true. It may seem that way. But see, we already have what we need. Even when we can't seem to find the answers, we already have what we need. It's already there. And this quote by Butterworth reminds us that the abundance is always present. And all we have to do is to give in and activate this flow of abundance in our lives. Now, it was Catherine Ponder. Oops, wrong way. I'm going to. Catherine Ponder, who said that you are prosperous to the degree that you experience peace, health, and plenty in your world. Now, the interesting thing about Catherine Ponder, I was introduced to the prosperity concepts in Unity by reading her book. She had a book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, and she also had a book called Open Your Mind to Prosperity. And these two books really opened my world and my understanding to what it means to be prosperous and to feel abundant. And she, even though she is no longer on this plane of existence, she is in another plane, influencing however way she influences. But she talks about a lot about the law of circulation, focusing on the idea that we give and we receive. So as we give, we do receive. The universe operates in a cycle, just like everything else in this world operates in a cycle. The nature is cyclical, our bodies are cyclical, we all run in a cycle. And the same with our giving and receiving. So when we give freely, we affirm that we are abundant as we give, because we know that we have enough and there is enough to go around. But when we hold back and we withhold what it is that we can give, we affirm that we are in a world full of lack. And we're living in this lack consciousness. So I'd like to use the analogy of a river. So water has to flow in and out in order for it to stay fresh. So if water flows in but never flows out, then the river becomes stagnant. And then the life that's there, the wildlife, the plants, everything, they don't thrive. So the idea is that the flow needs to continue. So the same is true for prosperity. When we participate in the cycle of giving and receiving, we keep the flow of abundance moving in our lives. So I'd like to go back to Emily Cady. Now, Emily Cady, she was a very early on a Unity influencer. And she said the giving of money, time, or service, when done with the right attitude, opens the way for a full and unhampered return. And when we give joy, we give with joy and we give with trust. And I think that's the hardest thing is when we give, we feel, well, how can I give if I don't have enough, or I feel like I got to hold on to this just in case something's going to happen, or whatever it is, the dialogue you're telling yourself in your mind. If you give with trust and you have faith that once it is out there in the world, you give, you will receive, you are opening yourself to the availability of receiving. So one of the most powerful aspects of the law of circulation is that it fosters this idea that we have enough, and so we should be grateful. We can be grateful for all that we have. When we give, we recognize all that we already have. Now just take a moment, just right here, right now, and bring to mind something that you already have, something that you may be taking for granted. It may be the fact that your lights are turned on. It may be the fact that you have food in your refrigerator. It can be as simple as you feel warm right now. Whatever it is, just take a moment and be grateful for that. Because gratitude is a magnet for prosperity. It expands our awareness for the good in all of our lives, not just mine. Because when we give and receive, we are giving to the circulation that is available to everyone. So giving and receiving. So when we give with gratitude, we affirm that we are already abundant, and this opens the way to greater blessings for yourself and those people that you give to. So when we talk about prosperity, we talk about prosperity as a way of giving, but it is a spiritual state of being. It is a way of being with the world in a spiritual way of giving and receiving in this idea of prosperity and abundance. Now in Unity, we don't talk a lot about tithing. I know that's not a really big thing. There's some tithing has this connotation that goes along with it. Tithing can bring up some strong emotions if you've had some history, for example, with different religions, and it is expected. But in Unity, it is not an expectation. It is not an obligation to be part of a Unity church. Tithing and giving it to the church or to the center you're at is not required. But tithing isn't about, in the Unity movement, we don't consider it an obligation. We consider it an opportunity. It's about opening ourselves up to the divine flow, like I was telling you about, and aligning with that universal principle of give and receive. That idea that we are always in that receiving end. As we're giving, we receive. We give and receive. It's always a cycle back and forth. So we're aligning with that universal principle, and we're stepping into the truth of our own prosperity. So giving is a joyful act. And when we come from that point of view, it's not a burden. It's not something we have to worry about. It's a statement of our trust when we give and receive openly. And this is open-ended too. It's not just about, oh, I'm giving and then I'm going to wait to see. You have to be willing and open and ready to receive. Because when you give, we sometimes think, okay, so that's it. I've given and now I'm lacking something. Don't think of it that way. It's not about lacking. You're giving away. So you're opening up yourself to receive more. You receive, you give, you open up that space and you receive more. And that's how it goes. When we are shifting our focus from, okay, so I give and now I'm lacking something, to I give and I'm opening to something, that's a totally different way of looking at how prosperity is. So prosperity is a spiritual state. It's not just about financial wealth. It includes our well-being, our relationships, the purpose that we feel that we have in the world, and our peace of mind. True prosperity is a reflection of our inner consciousness. And it was Catherine Ponder again who said, you are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing peace, health, and plenty in the world. Think about that. So how much peace, how much health, how much plenty do you want to have in the world? How much are you willing to open up to, because you have to be willing to receive as much as you are willing to give. So it is your responsibility to be part of the flow of giving and receiving. Be open to what it is that is yours to have. Remember that spirit is the source of all good. Unity teaches that God or spirit or source is the infinite source of all abundance. And so by aligning with this divine principle, individuals, all of us, open ourselves up to receiving blessings in all areas of life. Again, in Catherine Ponder's book, which was always a source for me to go to when I was concerned or worried, prosperity is not just possible, it's promised. So it's not just possible, it's promised. The law of circulation reminds us that when we give, we receive, and prosperity is our divine right. So she believed that God or source is all good and that abundance is available to everyone, regardless of your circumstances or where you are in this moment. It is available to everyone. And it's a mindset that we shift from lack consciousness to openness. And anybody that's listened to or anything that has anything to do with New Thought, especially the movie that was very popular, The Secret, or the book that went with that. Our thoughts create our realities. Thoughts create things. So Unity emphasizes that the power of our minds can create what it is that we experience. Our beliefs, our thoughts, our attitudes shape our experiences, and it includes our financial prosperity. So when we create our realities, when we say, oh, I would like to have this job, or I would like to have this in my house, or I'd love to have this carpet in my living room, as I'm looking at my floors that don't have a carpet on it right now, I'm thinking that, I'm opening up space for something brand new. My thoughts are creating my reality. Catherine Ponder talked about it. Thoughts are words and beliefs. So our thoughts, our words, and our beliefs create what it is we experience, and what we focus on expands. So when we're thinking about something, when we're believing something, when we're feeling something, we are creating our ultimate experience, no matter what that is. So if you're thinking about lack, you're creating lack. If you're thinking about negativity or pain or whatever it is that you're experiencing, you're creating an opening for yourself to experience that. You have to shift that from negative to positive. What is it that you want to open yourself up for? It's not about what it is that is in your purview right now. It's what it is that you can see for yourself. What is it that you can experience for yourself? Your thoughts create your reality. Catherine Ponder said, when you think of the things you want and you keep thinking of them with enthusiasm, that means with belief and excitement and joy, you are planting the seeds of prosperity. So think about that. If you go from worry and fear, and you change and you shift that to joy and openness, then think about what it is that you could open yourself up for. Not just all of the things that you are afraid that could happen. Think about the things that could happen. Use your imagination. If we create our realities, you have so much more power than you think you do. So why not create what it is you want instead of worrying about things that haven't happened yet and may never happen yet? How many things have you worried about in your life? The things that you planned and worried about them going a certain way have actually gone the way that you thought. Even if you plan something down to the minute detail, they're never going to go exactly the same as you planned. So when I say open yourself to abundance, I'm saying let go of all of those things that tie you to what you think or you should, and I hate the shoulds. The shoulds and the coulds are the worst. Think about the things that you want. Think about the things that you want to create, not just the things that you are afraid could happen. What is it that you actually want? Your imagination can be used just as well for doing good as for dealing with fear. Another thing is faith and gratitude open the flow. So not only when we start looking at what it is we want to create, we have to look about what it is we do have. So what is it that we have that we're grateful for? And when we start setting up that gratitude, that availability, our minds change. It's not just some woo-woo thing. When we talk about gratitude as woo-woo, and we're talking about the book that we're going through right now, Why Woo-Woo Works. Gratitude actually is scientifically proven or suggestive that that it is something that's so important to our well-being, that it actually improves our experience in the world. So when we are grateful, we are opening ourselves up to having an experience where we are experiencing gratitude, and we are magnifying that abundance that we have in our lives. By focusing on what we have, we express appreciation for it. And then as we express appreciation, what is it that we're attracting to ourselves? More good. More good. Because wouldn't you want to visit somebody who appreciates you? If you're the energy in the world, wouldn't you want to be open to somebody who's available to you, that wants to accept you and all that you can give? So think about that. You are opening yourself when you appreciate with gratitude to attract more good in your life. As I said earlier, giving and receiving are connected. It's a prosperity principle. So giving, sharing, being with people with an open heart creates a cycle of abundance. It reinforces the idea that what we give to the world, we receive, and it is multiplied. Catherine Ponder was really big on tithing and how giving to the world, giving to where you're spiritually fed is really important to be able to feed you spiritually, but not just that, but throughout all things in your life. Not just spiritually, but emotionally and cognitively and environmentally, everything. Giving is based in spiritual law, and she believed that wholeheartedly. Catherine Ponder said tithing is based on the spiritual law of giving and receiving, and it opens the way for increased blessings. So as we're living in that cycle, we are still giving and we are still receiving. We are expecting, instead of expecting the greatest bad, we're now expecting the greatest good. So when we open ourselves up, change our mindset, give and receive openly and joyfully, and that is what we will experience. Another thing, and we know this in Unity, live in divine order. I love that word. We use that a lot where I work at Unity Worldwide Ministries, divine order. Everything is in divine order, in divine time, by a divine appointment. Everything is in the right place at the right time. And when we experience our lives like that, when we think about our lives as we are doing the right thing at the right time because we are in alignment with divine source, we are in alignment in the spiritual understanding and trusting that the universe supports us. And when we're come from that mindset, we move in harmony with these spiritual laws, and they move with us. And it's not something we have to seek at this point. We are already in it. It's like fish in the fish bowl, They don't realize they're swimming around in the water, but it's always there. So when we are there, we are living in the flow of life. We are living in the water of abundance. Using affirmative prayer and visualization is important. And in a moment, we're going to go into meditation. It's going to help you be able to use affirmative prayer and visualization to encourage what it is you would like to have in the world. But when you use prayer and visualization, you create prosperity. You open up that space. Again, we were talking about that earlier. When you open up that space, you go within, you look at what you have, you are connecting with divine source and your heart opens. Just like the Grinch at Christmas, you know, the heart grows bigger and you're able to open up to everything that happens. And so affirmative prayer opens that space for us. And it allows us, it's a tool that we use for our divine prosperity to open ourselves to abundance. She said, Catherine Ponder said, what you radiate outwards in your thoughts, feelings, mental pictures, and words, you attract into your life. So again, it goes back to what is it that you're showing the world? What energy are you putting out in order to receive what it is you need? Again, we are attracting that energy we want. So you would want to be attractive to that energy. You're opening up your space. Work as a channel for divine abundance. So when we talk about channeling, some people get all weirded out about it. What is it, channeling? We don't want to channel that. It's not about that. It's about being open and being available to allow yourself. And like Patricia was saying a couple weeks ago about Reiki being, we are like straws. We are allowing that energy to flow through us. And so we become that straw. We allow that energy to flow through us. And so it's not coming from us, it's coming through us. We allow that energy to flow through us. And Unity teaches us that it's not about earning money. It's not about seeking all of the things we need in the world. It's about allowing the creative space and the service to move through us and as us. And when we align our work with this prosperity and we open ourselves up and we are channeling this divine abundance, then that becomes our purpose. That is why we're here on this planet. We are here to contribute to the flow of abundance and prosperity in this world. And so prosperity flows natural through us as we allow this, opening up our channel, opening up ourselves to allow it to move through us. Oops, that didn't work out. I just bumped us out. So let's just stop the share. And finally, last thing, prosperity is a journey. It is not a destination, just like most things in life. It's not about getting everything that you need all at once. It's about getting everything you need right now. And then being open to what you need tomorrow. It is a journey. So stop worrying about not having enough. It may seem like, in certain circumstances, it may seem like, oh, I have to worry about this. This is what's happening. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I have to pay this bill and and I'm short. I need to come up with the money, and all of that fear blocks that energy flow. It's just like you're building a dam in yourselves each and every time you start to use those words of negativity, when you start to use those words of lack. And when you turn it around and you say, you know what, right now, I have all that I need in this moment to be able to create what I need in the next moment, We are about acquiring all of the things we need, and that is how it's been in most of our lives. We have acquired what it is we need eventually. Maybe not in the way that we thought we should, maybe not in a timely way that we thought we needed, but it always worked out in the end. And that's why we're sitting here. That's why I'm sitting here. And when I was reading Catherine Ponder for the first time, I was like, this is ridiculous. I am struggling in my life. I am working, 60 hours a week, and I am still not making ends meet. And I don't know what's going on. And I don't know how you can just let it be and allow this to flow through. But when you change your mindset, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Thank you, Wayne Dyer. You become the channel for the greatest good. And that's what's important when we're looking at abundance and prosperity. Prosperity is not just about money. It's about faith. It's about having trust. It's about being grateful and being in alignment with what it is that we have that's available to us, that divine principle of the law of circulation. Prosperity is a practice. It is something that we continue to do. It's not something we say, okay, so this is what I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to be okay for a while. It is something that you have to continue to do in order for it to be part of your life. You cannot close the door and expect the air to be freshened, the air to come through your house. You have to leave the door open and allow that energy in. So today, during meditation and throughout the day, I invite you to reflect on how are you experiencing abundance in your life? How do you participate with abundance? And how can you do so more fully in this divine cycle of giving and receiving? We have a very generous group here who are always giving to those who need. But think about it right now, instead of just thinking, oh, so how can I give more? How can you be grateful for what it is that you have? How can you be grateful for what it is that you've already given? And how can you open your heart to experiencing more abundance in your life? And you can. And one of my favorite scriptures says that we give, we receive, and we press down, shaken together, and running over. It will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way that God will give back to you. And so when you are ready to be part of that flow, you just have to sit down, go within, open your heart, and say, I am ready to receive. And that will start the process. It seems simple, but it is a practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. All right, so we're going to go into meditation. And so I have a good meditation for you, but I have to pull my slides back up because that's where it was. And that's not very fun. So give me a second. I just closed my slides out, and that's not going to work. So we have this abundance meditation. So get into a comfortable position. And taking a minute to get started, the way the internet is. All right, let's get started. I invite you to take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Find a comfortable position, relaxing your shoulders and gently closing your eyes. Allow yourself to be present in this moment. Take another deep breath in and exhale, releasing any tension or worry. Now bring your awareness to your heart space, the center of love and divine flow within you. Imagine a warm golden light radiating from your heart, filling your entire being with a sense of peace and abundance. Silently affirm to yourself, I am one with infinite prosperity. I am open to receiving divine abundance in all areas of my life. I am one with infinite prosperity. I am open to receiving divine abundance in all areas of my life. Visualize yourself standing in a river of flowing abundance. This river represents the infinite supply of love, joy, wisdom, and financial prosperity. See yourself joyfully receiving from this divine source, while also giving freely, knowing that as you give, you make space to receive even more. Now bring your mind to a blessing in your life, something you're grateful for. Feel that gratitude expanding within you, filling your heart with joy. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to even greater abundance. Affirm to yourself, I give with a joyful heart, and I receive with an open spirit. I trust in the divine flow of prosperity. Take another deep breath in and exhale it out. Feeling a deep sense of trust and ease. Again affirming, I am one with infinite prosperity. I am open to receiving divine abundance in all areas of my life. I give with a joyful heart, and I receive with an open spirit. I trust in the divine flow of prosperity. And as we near the end of this meditation, know that prosperity is always flowing to you, through you, and from you. You are a channel of divine abundance. May you walk forward today in the joy of giving and the certainty of divine prosperity. Bringing your consciousness back into the space where you are. Bringing your awareness to this present moment. Starting to move your body and to feel it. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your awareness back into the space. May you walk forward today in the joy of giving and the certainty of divine prosperity. And so it is. Amen. In Unity, we have this way of blessing. We do it every day in my job, working at Unity Worldwide Ministries, and we do an abundance blessing. So I would like everyone to rub their hands together like this, and we're going to give each other a blessing right now. And you're going to put your hands up, and this blessing has been used since the beginning of Unity itself. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for my blessings today, and I am grateful in every way. And so it is. Amen. I want to thank you all for being here today and listening to me talk about prosperity. For those of you who are interested in staying part of the conversation, please stay with us after the recording is off, and we will have a great discussion.